Hi there, it's Lori, and I decided I would do one of those math lessons that I threatened. It'll be funny though, I promise. So, when I was teaching AP statistics, this is mostly juniors and seniors, so you're talking 17 and 18-year-old teenagers. There was a section of the book titled, Where Do Probabilities Come From? Me being who I am, this is how I introduced it. So, welcome to my classroom. This was what it was like to be in my class some days. I read the title. Where do probabilities come from? Well, when a mommy probability and a daddy probability love each other very much. And then I would just stop there and then I would tell them the real places that they come from. There's, of course, the experiential, I flipped a coin 10 times and I got heads 6 times, so it's 60%, right? That would be experimental probability. Okay, I'm going to stop there. See, I can math geek out. I am so sorry. But yes, it's springtime when a mommy probability and a daddy probability love each other very much. That's where probabilities come from. Alrighty, so I saw my friend so I went to another different thrift store. The friend that I had the bacon date with. The bacon date's a good story. So go find that one. I'll link that video below. The bacon date is funny. So anyway, we ended up on a double date by accident. It's a whole thing. Anyway, and bacon was involved. All right. So I went to the thrift store because that's one of her jobs. She works at a Goodwill. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pop into her store, look and see if they have any decent yarn I could reclaim or, whatever. Before I show you this, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, Camille, your dad's blanket must have weighed a flippin' ton. Because holy mackerel, because I'm pretty sure you use this thick yarn I'm about to show you. Okay, I had to move the camera back. Do you see how big this is? So when I say I wrestled a blanket, I wrestled this into my washing machine. But this is clearly going to be for reclaiming yarn. After taxes and rounding up for donation because it was Goodwill, it's ends everywhere. Okay, that was a workout. How did you do it, Camille? I don't know how you did it. And that was Alpine Stitch. This looks like, I don't know what this is. It's basic. Double crochet maybe? Nah. Half double crochet? Single? I don't even know. But holy mackerel, this thing is so heavy. Ugh. So that's getting reclaimed for yarn. But I don't know how you did it, Camille. I'm mind blown. So I was saying I'm mind blown because Camille's dad's blanket was bigger than that, or at least as big. And she did Alpine Stitch. Maybe she had the next size down blanket yarn, but I don't care. That thing must have weighed a ton. I feel like I've just had a full-on workout. Oh, all right, so that was my thrift store find. And the lady at the front asked me, I told her, she's like, oh, what are you going to do with this blanket? I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so heavy. And I explained that I was going to reclaim the yarn because, it's got all these ends sticking out. And she's like, oh, how do you do that? So I was kind of explaining to her how you do it and all that. And she goes, so how much yarn will you get from that? And I said, I'm thinking a minimum of 4 skeins. I think it's probably 5 of the big fat jumbo blanket yarn. I also thought of Mindy, CNY woman. I forgot to tag her last time I brought her up because she likes to use that. So, whew. Okay, what you're all really here for. You want to see SpongeBob. Now, I am to the point where I just finished. Here's a Mary, wow, Crochet Designs Mary sneak peek. There you go. I'm just kidding. I will show you. So that's the top of the door. So once I finish the top of the door, now it's going to be popcorns all the way across. We're going to get some shape start to come in. And I have sewn SpongeBob to the door. Gary, the snail, his pet, will be turned into an amigurumi. Smallish, about this size. About the size of my hand. My gigantic hand. Just kidding. Tiny hand. The only reason I'm not wearing the Arity purple ring is because I was at my daughter's house babysitting, and I do not want to take any chances of scratching him or losing it. So, because, constantly picking up that giant kid. All right. So, there it is. We're going to get some shaping. Like I said, it's going to start having popcorn stitches all the way across. You can see some shading. This is an ombre kind of, not ombre, but gradient, I think is the word they use. A gradient from Hirschner's, I think. I think it's a worsted 8. Oh, I bought some yarn. But I did it on purpose, and I don't have to ask for any refunds. And I even did it on my phone, but it wasn't Mary Maxim. It was Hirschner's. You know why? Because they had 17% off and 17-cent shipping. So I bought some of their packs, and it's a lot of yarn. But I talked to my husband about it. I said, I shouldn't need to get any more. I explained to him I used a gift card for the DK yarn that I needed for Marley Bird's thing. Anyway, so I'm just buying yarn that I can reclaim. That's really, because I can't afford to buy blanket yarn. Blanket yarn's expensive now, especially the big fat jumbo blanket yarn. Holy mackerel. So sorry. So needless to say, I am super excited about this, and it just gets easier from here. Now, I have no idea how long Gary's going to take me. I did buy a pattern off Etsy. I will find it and link it. I think it was only $1.60, $1.50, something like that. It was worth it to me to have the written pattern. And it looked authentic, not AI, lots of different angles, people's actual pictures that had made it. So anyway, the things we have to think about now. On the blanket, I am using a 6mm furls. Do I have my 5.5 sitting here? Yes, this is my 5.5 version of it. And I went to VJ's and I bought 2 more wood furls because I love the wood furls because I really like the lightweight hooks. So I'm a lightweight hooker. Anyway, with that, also, Arity sent me another box. I'll show you yarn on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Sometime you'll see more beautiful yarn. Who knows? Maybe I'll have one of the other yarn hauls, the DK, hopefully. The first week on the Marley Bird is like real simple. So they have you put a stitch marker in the center and move it up because it's a triangle, so triangle shawl. So I didn't pay to move up in challenging level. You had to pay more money. You had to pay. It's free if you do the easy level. So it's actually going to be kind of mindless, which will be nice because I don't do mindless stuff very often or ever. I really need to work on the Stitcherhood blanket is what I really need to do. One of my 2. Yes, I do have a second one. I'll talk about that sometime later. But I'm probably not going to get my blanket in on time. Nope, it's the 18th. No, nope. Nope, because even if I mailed it out by Friday, but I got 3 things I got to make by Friday. So, and I gave my friend one of the Shamrock bookmarks, and she loved it. But she goes, "It's so tiny," and she had to lift up her glasses and look. Relatable. Anyway, with that, remember where probabilities come from. And thanks for coming in. I really appreciate you. Can I get an amen? Amen that I didn't give you more last math lesson, right? Oh, interrupting my goodbyes. I forgot to show the very, very cute Palentine's card from Zach. Getting stuff to and from Canada always takes extra time, and he had a lot of stuff happen that delayed his sending it. But it's so cute, the puppies. I'm still figuring out how to display them. All right. Can I get an amen? No more math lessons today. And hugs from, oh my gosh, Mima Potato Head. Virtual hugs from me, or whatever kind of hug you need. If you need a good laugh, go watch Wow Crochet Designs live from Tuesday night. Well, Tuesday night if you're in the US, Wednesday morning if you're over there in the Australia or New Zealand. I'll link that too, just for the funny. So you can see I sent her something similar to something I sent to Armchair Chef, and a few of you got most of it, but only Mary and Armchair Chef got the one particular thing. But Armchair Chef came up with a brilliant idea of how that's actually a useful thing, which is, there you go. How is that a useful thing? That's what she said. Leaving it at that. See y'all later.